Hey, welcome for the 7th time on Ielts. And because 7 is a lucky number, we're going to show you a little bit of what some of the people have sent information to us. Thank you. This is some of the people that have sent something to us, and here is natran@gmail.com, and this is what she says. Dear Chị Phoebe and Ielts, I loved the show so much and excited than ever to study for the IELTS. Of course, I hope I can get an 8 as well. But I have one question. I wonder, is there anyone that's gotten a 9 on the IELTS? Well, we're gonna answer it for you right here on the show today. You asked the question, we provided the answer, and the answer is right here in our studio with us. Welcome, Trương to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, she got an amazing 9.0, guys. That is not a joke. Very few people actually get that score. So tell us a little bit about you getting that the second time you took the IELTS.
The first time I took the IELTS was in 2011 after I graduated from university, and at that point of time I got an 8.0. I was pretty satisfied, but then again there was a part of me that knew that I could do better. So after 4 years of working, I started feeling a little curious about whether I have got better or worse. So last year in December I decided to retake it, partly because the test fee was about to increase. But yeah, I took it and I was lucky enough and got a 9.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're one of those people that kind of like grew your skills organically. How did you get so good at the IELTS?
I wouldn't say that I got good at the IELTS specifically. Honestly speaking, I didn't prepare for the test that much officially. Before the second time I took the test, I didn't go to any preparation class. I only took a few practice tests on my own. I think the key to learn any language is, of course, simulating an environment where you can practice it as frequently as you can, and that's exactly what I try to do.
Yeah, so I think a lot of our audience would probably want to hear from you. Mm-hmm. You know, when did you start believing that you were very good at English?
Never. Even right now, I don't think I'm that good at English yet. There are still times when I feel like I cannot convey myself precisely, and I still struggle a lot to read heavily technical books. And I think learning is a process. It's not a destination.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what we need to do, like every one of us, is at a different position on that long journey, but all of us need to continue moving forward, and one day we'll eventually find a place where we can feel completely happy with what we have. But for me right now, I still believe that I have a lot of room for improvement.
Mm-hmm. But I do agree, you know, language itself, even for native speakers, it's really a process of basically owning and developing, and it's always learning and it's always growing.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's your study dream? Like, what do you want to achieve in this whole process of studying?
For me, it's really tough to tell like what is my eventual goal. Mm-hmm. The only thing that I strive for in life is keep getting better. Mm-hmm. I don't know where it's going to take me, but I don't want to stop learning.
I love that. Yeah, I love that you always want to learn. And I think it's a lot of the sentiments that I share with a lot of the people I know as well. Yeah.
As a woman in an Asian country, mm-hmm. I do believe that education is key. Mm-hmm. It opens the windows of opportunities for you to mm-hmm. to a lot of places that you want to go, mm-hmm. Lots of things that you want to do. So all the girls that are watching this show out there, for all of you, keep studying. Don't drop out of school.
Do you feel, as a woman in Vietnam, do you feel like you've had opportunities, or do you feel like women still deserve a lot more opportunities at education in this country, in your opinion?
I think my personal experience, my exposure, is not adequate for me to make such a big remark. about the whole education system of Vietnam. I grew up in Hanoi, in a city, so for me it was pretty easy. I could go to school. All of my friends did. But as a working professional in the social field, I have seen a lot of young girls not being able to go to school because their parents could not afford to send both the girl and the boy to school. And that's just sad. I do believe that women, young women in Vietnam and of course other places deserve the opportunity to at least get an education and get where they want to be.
I agree with you. And actually, there's one thing about Vietnam that I really hold very, very dear to my heart, is the sense that, yes, financial, there might be some difficulties for women to go to school, but at least in terms of people's mentality, if they had the financial means, they would enable their children, their girls, to go to school. Guys, we have a request.
Hi, Vienna. I have known that you got a 9 on IELTS test, so I wonder that you have read many books on academy or maybe anything in books. So which one is your favorite book, and can you tell me a little bit about that?
Thank you for your question. It's difficult for me to pick like one book as my favorite. I brought to the show today one of my favorite young adult, cheesy, corny novel, and its name is Where Rainbows End by Cecilia. This is a really cute little book about the love story. Not exactly a love story, it's more like a friend story which turned into a love story. So there are two best friends as kids, but they did feel for each other. They grew up together, felt for each other, but there was never quite the right timing for them. And then they spent the rest of almost half of their life trying to figure out how they can come together, trying to figure out just where they want to be in life and who they want to be with. And it's really touching. And for me, the message that I take away from this book is live while you can. If you want to do something, do it right now. Time's not going to wait for you. You don't have the whole life to waste. Try reading it out. I hope you will enjoy it, and I hope the language of this book is also very simple. There's nothing super complex about it, so you'll find it really fluffy, really cute, and I think you're going to like it. Yep, this is my book for you, Where Rainbows End.
Hey, wow, I wouldn't expect you would give the book away, a book that you love so much.
Why wouldn't I? I love to transfer my passion to other people. This is something that is very close to my heart. This is one of the first English books that I've read. You can see it's already old. I hope that I hope you don't mind that. I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, we have something still in store for you. So you're not going home yet?
Okay.
Yes, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, perfect. Join me. Let's go.
This is the Ielts Marathon. With the first challenge, you have to look for 3 items: the passports, the key, the confirmation letter. After that, you have to be ready for a perfect photo shoot. Then perfect fingerprints. Moving on, series of challenges will be ready for you at the monitor. And the last and surely the hardest one, you will have to hide away from the spotlight, collecting 6 characters, then form a word. The Ielts Marathon is ready right now.
Welcome back, guys, to the IELTS studio, and this is the IELTS Marathon Challenge. And the contender is Hi-Ha today. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, your first task will be the devil, and you'll be right there, and I'm going to be right here. Good
Okay.
luck.
Thank you.
All right. Next is the devil's space, where our contestant will have to discover the key, the passport, and the registration letter in the whole mess. But first, Hai-Ha, you have to close your eyes.
Okay.
Rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. Now find the 3 hidden treasures.
Key, passport, and
Registration letter, information letter.
information letter.
Sometimes what you need, oh,
Got one.
1 down, 2 more to go, 2 more to go. Search far and wide. Search every crevice of every item that you see. Listen to the sounds of the rustling keys.
Oh,
Did you hear something? Oh, there it is.
That's one.
2 down, 1 more to go. What was that one thing that you used to touch but you threw it away because you thought it was useless? Hotter, hotter, hot, 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 hot. Really hot, but not right. Really, really hot, but you're not correct.
oh, here it is. Got it, finally. I'm so bad at this. Okay, forget these.
3 items. All right, you're on to the next challenge, the photo shoot and fingerprint. Make sure you take the right picture.
Okay.
And print all 10 fingers. Off you go.
Oh, it is like this already?
It's automatic. Turn it on. Press the button. Set the chair correct. Sometimes to set the chair correct, you gotta sit on the chair.
Okay. Why on this?
Sometimes you gotta sit on the chair to make it work. Now, sometimes you gotta wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. But it doesn't work. There you go. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Okay. You guys are terrible.
You got 10 seconds. 10
Oh, it's
seconds.
coming up.
Make sure the timer is set correctly.
I don't see any light.
Make sure the timer is set correctly. Did you set the timer?
Like the screen just.
Oh, it's blinking. I see some blinking. But is it taking a picture? It took the picture.
Now what am I do?
Gotta look at the picture again. You are off to the next challenge.
Am I?
You are off to the next challenge.
Thank you.
The fingerprint challenge.
Okay.
Off to the fingerprint challenge. Make sure you get all 10 fingers printed on that sheet. And make sure all your fingers are clean to proceed to the
Do
next
I have to go
challenge.
in the right order though?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Make sure it's clean before you proceed to the next challenge.
It's impossible to clean.
You're a good girl. Now you're proceeding on to the next challenge. Starting off with the headphone challenge, where you will hear a
Okay.
prompt. May we have the prompt, please?
You will hear a guide giving visitors to a country house information about the house and gardens.
Now, please look at the map I've given you of the house and gardens. We're here at the information centre. Follow the path marked with the arrow, and the first area you come to is the orchard on your left. As you go further down the path, there's the kitchen garden on the right, and as you go round the first sharp corner, you will find to your left an area where different types of pear tree have been planted, as well as some lovely flowers, and this is known as Pear Alley, designed by George himself. Next to this is the greenhouse, where some exotic plants and fruits are grown. Follow the path round the second corner, and on your right you will see the entrance to the mulberry garden, with its 500-year-old tree. Past the mulberry garden, follow the path until you reach the front of the house. I suggest you spend a good hour wandering around this lovely building. A guide takes visitor groups round every 2 hours. If you would like to purchase any of George's books or other souvenirs, then leave the house by the side entrance, where you will find our shop, which is situated between the house and the garage, which contains the magnificent old Rolls-Royce car, which used to belong to George. I expect by this time you may also be in need of a rest and some refreshment. Most visitors are. So why don't you visit the tea room on the far side of the garage?
D4?
D is 4. So D for tea room. Is this correct? That is absolutely correct. You're on to the next one, the answer sheet challenge. The answer sheet challenge, basically find a mistake.
8-year preservation is wrongly spelled.
You are absolutely correct. You're on to the next section, the reading challenge. Read the text and answer the question.
One true.
You're absolutely correct. You were fast, girl. All right, you got to paraphrase this one. Find the synonyms in the underlined words. Let's see if she can find the synonym in a quick period of time.
Globally.
Worldwide and globally. You are
Common.
common for popular.
Characteristics.
Features for characteristics. You are absolutely correct. Pronunciation challenge. You're almost there. She's almost done, guys.
The other day, I forgot my phone on the bus. The next morning, I went to the lost and found office to see if it had been turned in. I saw the phone on the desk at the office. Since the battery had died during the night, it was difficult to convince the man that it was mine.
Voice recognition. Accepted. Voice recognition has said accepted.
Oh, great.
You are on to the final challenge, and it is called the sneaker shame. Are you ready for the sneaker shame?
Yeah,
All right.
maybe.
The sneak of shame is going to be the next challenge, where she will have to find little pieces and information on the floor, and she will have to put it together to create a word to get out of her office and into the Ielts room. We'll be right back. Welcome to the sneak of shame. And to prepare you for the sneak of shame, I have your coat here so that you can basically crawl on the floor and pick up the letters and not get into the shadows, okay?
Okay.
All right, are you ready for the sneak of shame?
Yes, I am.
All right, you look so good. Okay, guys, 1, 2, 3, sneak of shame. Lights off, please. Take it away.
Am I? I have like 3 shadows over here, so which one counts when which one doesn't?
Find which one that's inside, that's clear, the darkest inside.
This one is the one that counts. Okay. Just, can I step out of this?
Go lower.
8?
You cannot step out of the 8, but you can go lower.
Okay.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. There you go. You're learning the trick. You're learning the trick. All right. Okay, now you can get the H and the D behind you all at once, because the light is the light.
Am I making any
You're
shadow?
fine. You're fine. Behind you, you have 3 letters behind you that you can actually snatch right now. Go back. All right, it's fine.
Oh. Where is it? Here?
Oh, no, no, you can still hold the ones that you've already picked up. Okay.
Okay.
Start again. pause, pause, pause. Okay, continue. Go. Okay, you have 3 letters behind you that you can totally pick up right now. To your right. To your right. Quickly, before the light turns back.
Oh.
Let me help you. You just got 3 more letters.
Activity.
Just 3 more letters. You're good, you're good. You can actually put your hand towards across that bubble and grab that E right there. The hand is fine. The hand is totally fine.
Really?
Yes.
But my hand is not extra long.
Then too bad, then you gotta move there.
I'm not a giant.
Gotta move there. Oh, the light is gone, come on.
Perfect.
Okay, you got 1 more letter. 1 more letter. You're almost there, almost, almost, almost. There you go, girl, you've got all the letters. All right, woohoo. Is that tiring?
Yeah.
Okay, now we got all these letters. Now your last task is basically to just have the letters together and make a word. What is it? Here, let me help you. I'll hold the letters for you.
And the word of the day is method.
The word of the day is method. Oh my God, you got it like right off the bat. How does this even happen? It is absolutely correct. The word of the day is method. Congratulations, huh?
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on the show. And to sum up your experience on this Ielts, what do you think of your experience here?
It was exciting.
How was the challenge?
Challenging.
Very challenging, right?
But really fun.
Really fun, okay. All right, so thank you for sharing all of your tips and the book also to our viewers.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we hope to see you again soon.
I hope so too.
All right, guys, so our next section is the Idioms of the Week section, and where you'll basically find some new information on what idioms you can use. Stay tuned, stay glued to your screen, don't go anywhere.
Idiom of this week. Coming up, you are welcome to the next part of 8 IELTS to check out our very new tips and tips provided by our IELTS Spirit from British Council Daniel Ruel. He will also give comments of how your speaking can be improved. Soon in this episode, MC and Duy will experience the real-time IELTS speaking test. We conquer examiner's heart, but he's charming. Let's wait and see. Next on 8 IELTS.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the 8 IELTS studio. And of course, to help you with your IELTS studying, we have an IELTS expert right here in the studio with us. So guys, welcome Dan Ruel.
Thank you very much, great to be here.
Welcome to the studio. Tell us a little bit about you. How long have you been in Vietnam?
I've been in Hanoi for about 11 years now,
wow,
so quite a while.
Crazy.
And I've been working with IELTS for about 7 years now.
7, 8 years.
Yeah.
And you're an IELTS expert. Are there any memorable stories to share within your whole IELTS experience?
Generally, it's been very positive. I haven't had anybody cry in the exam, which is good. And so far, it's been very positive. I think the candidates in Vietnam really are very motivated to try their best and perform well in the exam.
That's great. Now, one of the things that we feature on our show are celebrities doing the IELTS. Have you ever seen a celebrity taking the IELTS test or studying for the IELTS?
Not that I know of. I'm sure a lot of celebrities have taken the IELTS, but I haven't come across any yet so far.
All right. So today, we're going to introduce you to one. MC Yang Duy is going to take our IELTS exam today. So you want to see how he does?
Yeah, let's take a look.
All right, let's take a look.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm fine, thanks.
May I see your ID card, please?
Yes. This is mine.
Thank you. That's fine. Now, in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about cold weather. Have you ever been in very cold weather?
Yes, of course. I used to live in the UK in 2009. At that time, I experienced the first winter in an European country. You know, the degree I remember is about 0 degrees Celsius, and there was snow. It's my first time.
How did you feel?
Oh, wonderful. The first time I saw the snow, you know, I went outside and then they fell down on my face, on my hair, and then very thick on the ground. And this was my first time I played with the snow, with the children. I thought that it was pieces of cake, but after that I get sick, you know, because it's too cold.
Thank you. Now I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
Here's some paper and a pencil for making notes, and here's your topic. I'd like you to describe a competition on TV, at college, at work, or a sports competition that you took part in.
Thank you. So I start my preparation, right?
All right, could you please start speaking now?
Firstly, thank you for this interesting question because it reminds me of my very, very nice experience in my life that I cannot forget. In 2009, before I came to the UK, I participated in a TV show, and it is a competition about MC TV presenter nationwide. And my friend told me that information because I want to challenge myself. What happens if I, go on the stage to be the MC, the TV presenter? So what can I say and what could I do at that time? So I want to challenge myself. And there were many rounds. And it was the live program on TV with a lot of audience, and the judges, they were professional. So I think a little bit stressful, but I overcome, round and round. And finally, in the final round, when they announced the third prize, not me. The second prize, not me. And then, of course, only me left. So I were, awarded with the first prize, the winner at that time. So, it's a wonderful experience, and I still be happy with this. Yeah. I am happy now as well. Thank you for that question.
Thank you. We've been talking about a competition, and now I'd like to discuss some more questions related to this. Why do you think that some school teachers use competitions in their classrooms?
I am a teacher now, so I understand why they do it. It is very important for the students, because with the competitions, the student will have, the pressures or, the inspiration and motivation to make an effort, to try their best, to work, and maybe teamwork as well. So I think the competition is necessary for the student to try their best, to apply what they can do, and even to find their potentials as well. However, how much you use it is very important. What is the prize you give to the students is very important. So the teachers have to pay attention to the amount of competition and to the way they lead the competitions.
Do you think that giving prizes to students is a good thing?
It has pros and cons. As I say, how you award the student is very important. What you give them is very important. For the teachers, maybe the small gift, like, paper, pens, or candies, cookies. Yeah, sometimes it's okay. But if you use it for too long, okay, what happens if they know that it is not interesting anymore? But if you give them the mark, it is necessary. Sometimes I just give them as the bonus only. So when they do something wrong, they make a small mistake, the bonus can help them. But if they make big bonus, okay, they can have better feeling. They will be very, very confident for their study. So I think it's quite nice.
Thank you very much. That is the end of the speaking test.
Woo.
Very good.
Right. Thank you, Anh Duy, for that wonderful performance. So Dan, what do you think about that performance?
I was very impressed. The two things that really struck me were his fluency.
Yes.
He's able to give very long answers. He's able to speak without stopping too frequently. And his ability to explain his answers was quite good, I thought. And the second thing that struck me was his pronunciation. He's not only very clear with his sounds, but he's also using things like stress.
Yeah.
He's stressing the keywords. His intonation, where he goes up and down, was very, very natural. He said, for example, the pros and cons. It has pros and cons. He said, find their potential, experience pressure, and quite a few examples of some less common words.
And I love how he was able to share his own personal experience of the competition that he went through.
Yeah.
Shared it in a way that was very emotional. It was very him, and he's also very, very, very animated.
Yeah, I really liked in part 2 where he introduced the topic before he started explaining the competition. He had a nice little introduction before he started, which is a very good technique.
If you were in his position, what would you do to make your performance a lot stronger?
I think he's already very strong in fluency and pronunciation. I think probably the area where he could improve more would be grammar. I did notice there are quite a few small mistakes. They aren't very serious, but the number of mistakes I thought was a little bit high. So one thing he could focus is maybe trying to avoid the common mistakes.
All right, let's see how he think he did. Anh Duy, how did you think you did on that exam?
Today, I feel not very happy, and now I'm nervous about the result as well, because today I was in a hurry and I did not utilize the time well, especially the question, the competition that I attended before. I think it is a nice question. However, I did not use good words, good phrases to answer my question, so I'm not very satisfied with that, and I think the performance today is not really good.
Anh Duy, how many points do you think you got?
For me, if I mark myself, I think 5 or 5.5.
Well, that's quite a low point to give yourself. You've done this for the second time. What do you think you learned from the second experience, and how would you advise other people?
I think the tips today is listen carefully, and then utilize 1 minute of preparing to have better arrangement for your answers, because I think this is an important part of the IELTS speaking test when they give you a big topic and they have some guidance about the ideas to answers. So that's why you need to answer all of them and utilize the time they give you and have the better verbs and phrase, or sometimes you can use the better and logical sentences to answers.
Anh Duy, we'd love to have you on the show, so please come into the studio one time, and then we're going to talk a lot more about your competition, okay? So come into the studio with us. All right, Dan, so he gave himself a 5.5. What do you think about that score?
I think he's being much too humble. I'd give him a much higher score. Like I said, his fluency and his pronunciation were outstanding. His vocabulary was good range, maybe a few more idioms, but certainly much higher than a 5.5.
But he did mention also something very important, right? To basically make full use of the time that's given to a candidate. You know, if you're given 1 minute, use that full 1 minute to basically plan out what you're going to say.
Exactly, and during the 1 minute, it's very helpful if you write down not only your ideas of what you're going to say, but also some good vocabulary. Because if you write it on your paper, you're much more likely to use it. Whereas if you try and trust your memory, you might forget that good vocabulary.
And you wouldn't be penalized if while you're talking, you're looking down at the paper. That's
Absolutely
fine.
not, it's perfectly okay.
I see, that's great. All right, guys, so right now we are going to go on to the section that you love the most. It is the tips, and tips section. And this time it's going to be about writing the conclusion paragraph. Dan, so what are some of the things that candidates should take note of for writing the conclusion paragraph?
First and foremost, the most important thing is that you restate your overall point of view. So for example, if the question is, do you agree or disagree? It's very clear in your first sentence, I agree or I disagree, for example. The second sentence, you probably want to summarize what were your main ideas. So probably if you had 2 paragraphs, what were your 2 main ideas? And your third sentence, it's optional, but you might want to give maybe a recommendation, maybe a prediction for the future, something a little bit more general to end your essay. So normally I'd recommend about 3 sentences for your conclusion.
So quite a simple structure. Why do you think so many people struggle with the conclusion paragraph?
I think the 2 most common problems that I see is, number 1, not saying what your opinion is. So it might not be clear, and if you don't have a clear opinion in your conclusion, you'll get quite a low score in the first category. And the second thing I often see is people adding new information, new ideas in the conclusion, but you don't want to have any kind of new information, just a summary.
I see. So very, very important. Right, guys, remember, don't add in new information, and also always make sure to state your stance clearly. You know, as much as you want to be humble, as much as you want to be diplomatic, that's not the way to do it in the Ielts essay. All right, so of course, you know, we scour, every week we play the Ielts on TV, and basically people send us information and people send us voice of the week. And guys, we love you because every week you send us your voice of the week, and for this week, a person's name is called Ming-Chang. Ming-Chang, if you're out there, and if you're watching, your video is on Voice of the Week this week. So we'll check out your video right now. Let's see your video.
Have you ever been given a nickname that you don't like, but it's so true to you? I have been. All of my friends call me a nerd. People see me as a 4-eye monster who always wears uniform, studies day and night. And actually, I don't mind that anymore. I really love studying, and my favorite subject is English. My passion for English simply based on its attractiveness. Every language has its own charisma. French is polite, Spanish is sexy, and Korean is cute. And English, from my perspective, English is fun. Therefore, every time when I learn English, I feel the joy that it brings to me. And that is the exact motivation that I need to fulfill my 5 pages of English homework every day. Loving it so much, I have participated in several English speaking contests. And I was over the moon to hear the result. And if I can do it, you can do it too. Finding joy in English is easy. Whether you are into something romantic or something humorous, there are a lot of books and films to choose from. Fiction is not an exception. If you're like me, a true fan of Harry Potter, you could still enjoy the movie while learning the subject. And eventually, someday, you might realize that English has already played an indispensable role in your life.
Interesting, interesting. What do you think her prompt was?
Something that you would recommend others to improve their studies, perhaps?
Yeah, I think from what I heard, the prompt was basically for her to describe why she loves to study and how she studies. So on the lines of that, do you think she portrayed that well, or was she all too broad when it comes to answering to that
I think maybe it would be better at the beginning to have a very clear topic of what she's going to say. It took me a while to figure out what the main topic was, but I think her ability to explain is quite good, but maybe at the beginning to introduce the topic could be a little bit more clear.
Absolutely. What are some of the things that you loved about that performance?
I really loved her passion,
Yes.
And I think that came through in her emphasis. She's really emphasizing the key words, and she's also using really good intonation. You could tell she's full of passion, whereas somebody who has very flat intonation, it doesn't have the passion. So I think her stress and intonation were excellent. That's
great. What about vocabulary?
Very good. I mean, she used words like attractiveness, the joy that it brings, which is charisma, which is good. She used an idiom, over the moon. Played an indispensable role. I mean, there's some excellent vocabulary in there.
All right. So do you think this performance can receive an 8?
I think she's very close. What she could improve on is probably her grammar. I think she is trying to use some complex sentences.
Yes.
But I do notice there are a few mistakes which I picked up on.
Right.
But certainly her fluency, her vocabulary, and her pronunciation are definitely up there.
All right. It's great. It's great. I think it's, yeah, she just needs a little bit more, right, to reach that stage.
Yeah.
So for the topic today on studying, what are the 3 vocabulary that you think people should remember?
For studying, I'd say maybe cram. Cram is a good one. So you might say in the exam, you know, I try to avoid cramming, or it's best not to cram. A good idiom is hit the books. So when you're about to study, you'd say, sorry, I can't go out tonight, I have to hit the books.
Yes, hit the books.
And
hit the books.
another good one is burn the midnight oil. So to burn the midnight oil means you stay up very late to study, which is very common for students.
Yes, I've done many of those during my university days. So those are some really great tips. All right, guys, you know, you've heard all those tips. Remember, hit the books. Remember,
burn the midnight oil.
Burn the midnight oil. And remember, cram. Those are some of the 3 things that you can take away from the show today. And definitely, always, you know, we are an interactive show. Don't forget to visit our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, to basically voice your questions and also take your videos. Remember that we are a visual show and we are also an interactive show. Guys, we finally come to the end of this episode, and Na Tran, if you're watching, we hope that you're satisfied with the kind of information that we've given you. And of course, everybody else at home, be like Na Tran, send us questions, and of course, don't forget to tune in to us every week. I'll see you again next time. Hey guys, as I said, don't ever forget to dream big, because the bigger you dream, you might just get it. See you again soon.